but money and human gains still remains, enforced without state violence. Down the rabbit hole I fell, learning things they'll never tell, about how money's truly broken. So many truths were left unspoken. Then my eyes were opened by the flash of an orange light. That's worth the fight. Revolting without violence. And in the orange light I saw
purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash.
millions of people, maybe
Allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another.
learning all while stacking. People spreading hope while teaching. People writing code that's meant to be.
All right. Then we are going to continue with this great stage, Galoy stage, that is mainly in the techie side of Bitcoin, and that's why we are going to keep talking about Lightning, that is a layer 2 to scale Bitcoin. And Bitcoin on the web, the potential of the Lightning Network with Moritz Kaminski. So if Moritz is ready to start his talk, remember that tomorrow we are going to El Sonte, so let's go there where everything this started. And if Moritz, if you are ready to come, let's go.
Hi. Oh, super. Works. Hello, everybody. My name is Moritz. I'm a contributor of Albi, Lightning Wallet, and a browser extension. And I basically want to tell you two things. Lightning on the web is awesome, and you don't need to be a developer to build a Lightning web app or to accept payment. Every one of us can do it. Yeah, and speaking of the web, so far the web was like always missing a native payment layer. And if we look at the HTTP spec of the web, then you see that there is actually the 4.0 payment required code included. But so far, there was no usable protocol for digital payments. Although many of them like try to solve this digital cash problem, like eCash, also PayPal actually we can name, or click and buy. But what was the result? So we now have a standard way of transferring information on the web, right? But we have no standardized way to transfer value at the same time. This means to pay online, we still have to transfer information first and then rely on another party to settle the payment, like as a detour basically. And this leads to more dependencies because we still have to trust a party. We still rely on someone who executes the payment for us. This leads also to more centralization because the payer and the payment receiver, they all have to agree on the same platform. So, for example, both me and the shop that I pay, they have to use PayPal, for example. And because of these network effects of this centralization, everyone is drawn into these companies, and this leads to less competition. Less competition leads basically to worse service, and also, or therefore, basically also to less options to monetize. For example, we cannot use micropayments because it's just not feasible. It's too expensive right now because they don't have this incentive to keep innovating. But we believe actually that with a native payment protocol for the web, we will see an explosion of innovation, and we will also see that completely new use cases will become possible, and also new ways to monetize the web. The missing link so far was always that there is no open and decentralized or censorship resistant network or a protocol layer that allows for this instant value transfer across the globe. But luckily we have the magic internet money, we have Bitcoin. And that's why we use this, and we see that with a growing adoption of Bitcoin, Bitcoin will alter also the way we communicate value compared to today, just like the internet did with information, right? So, because Bitcoin consists of the currency itself, but it also consists of the network, like where we can transfer this value right now. So these two are the protocol layers. And then there's the application layer on top, but the challenge today is still that it's quite difficult actually to build these applications, because you have to work very close to these network implementations. And this is, for many of us, it's still quite challenging. So that's why there are not a lot of applications out there. And that's where Albi basically comes in. We create the ground where these new Bitcoin Lightning implementations can actually grow. With Albi, every web developer can become a Lightning developer now, because you can keep using technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and this allows also for quicker innovation. And then we will see a lot more applications drive there. And that's why we started building the browser extension. And this browser extension now, what you can do is you can connect your own Lightning setup that you have. So if you have a core Lightning node running at home, since this week you can also connect this one, but you can also connect your LND node, your Eclair node, Bitcoin Beach Wallet, for example, Umbrel. So you have this whole complete flexibility that we enable you, and we basically serve as a bridge, or Albi serves as a bridge to access websites. And it's also, from a website developer perspective, you now have a tool to easily onboard new users to your web app. So if you wonder now, how can you actually accept payments? Quite easy, you don't need any line of code. So there is, for example, if you run a WordPress blog, just use the Bitcoin Lightning publisher to enable paywalls like this, to accept donations. This is one example of a paywall with the browser extension. You can set a budget, you can pay for it, and read the article, and for the next payment, because you already set a budget, you can read the article just by a one-click payment, and this is possible. No line of code required. Okay, if you do not run a WordPress website, then there's one line of HTML required to accept Lightning payments, and this is all you need, is this line here. It's basically go and find a provider of a Lightning address, and at this line in the meta section, in the header meta section of your website, and as Kevin Rook did it with his website, every user of the browser extension, because the browser extension automatically detects this meta tag, can now send some sats to this website operator. If you want to be more explicit about accepting payments and also show that you ask for it, then you might also think about, okay, maybe I want to actually have a dedicated payment widget. And then you need 2 lines of code of HTML basically, and this is these widgets that you can quickly integrate in your website. This is the code that you can copy paste, so you can adjust, you can add your Lightning address, and off you go. And this is the process, how it goes from donating sats, choose the amount of sats, add a comment, click pay, and then you have sent some sats, and the person receives some sats on his side. So this is quite straightforward. If you just add another line of code and switch to JavaScript, then you can really build a quite like extensive area of Lightning applications. And these are just 3 examples that you need, that you could do. Quite straightforward. Here you can ask for an invoice, enable a function basically, and then send a payment. This is the WebLN standard. A WebLN standard is basically a way, or it describes a way how an application can interact with your Lightning wallet, right? With the Lightning wallet, for example, that you connected to the Albi browser extension. And you can do a bunch of things here. For example, you can send a payment, you can receive a payment with make invoice, you can sign a message, you can list a channel or list channels, or call any like random method that is provided by this Lightning node implementation. So now we have WebLN, and with WebLN compared to like LN-URL, you don't need to scan a QR code to send a payment on the browser. It really gives you the chance to as a developer to have create a programmatic interaction with the wallet of the user, and this allows for quite a lot new use cases. So, for example, you can now on Bolt.fund, this is a great example here. You can now tie any type of interaction to a payment. So now it's not just a random like on a website, but it's really like you can back it up with real value, and with every like boost or like or so, you can connect it to a payment. And now this is also quite nice, where you see where suddenly before information and payment rails were totally unlinked. Now they are linked together quite nicely. And as you have seen, you can either use the Albi browser extension for WebLN, but there are also other WebLN providers out there like Breeze, Blix, for example, and so on. This is another quite interesting use case, because this shows what you can do if you use the building blocks that are out there. So this example brings together WebLN, brings together LSAT. It's a way of authentication and payment on the web, and LN-URL. And we built this showcase. It's called Nakafoto. And you can basically, it's basically Instagram, but just with Lightning. So you can upload your photo, and sell your pictures to other people. And the interesting part here is that the website operator does not touch the payment. The payment goes really is peer-to-peer between the seller and the buyer of the picture. And this is how it looks like. I can scroll through it. I can buy a picture. For example, I can choose this one. I can pay with one click in this case, and I got access to this payment provided by this website. But the payment ends up directly at the seller's own wallet. But you can actually do more than just payments, more than just receiving or sending payments. And this is also what Albi now allows soon. So, for example, you as a website developer, you can access specific methods that are provided on a user's Lightning node, be it Core Lightning or LND. And you can ask, for example, here in this case, ask for the channel list or request the peers, and there is no need anymore for the user to install an application on his own node, but you as a user can bring your node data as you want, like to a website, and this increases a lot the portability of data And it's quite interesting also from a developer perspective, because it's way easier now to onboard new users to services, and Albi basically, or through the WebLN standard, the interaction with these wallets and nodes is a lot more like facilitated, or it's a lot simpler now, because you don't have to create dedicated connections with each node implementation out there, but just speak WebLN, and then you can create swap services, you can create liquidity services or rebalancing services, and what not is possible there. And users can access a web dashboard way easier than just installing something additional on their node to have some node analytics there. And yeah, if you want to know more, I've told a lot about WebLN already. There is a WebLN guide is available under webln.guide, where you can find the reference API. You can find a lot of also examples out there, code examples, for example, and some guides as well, video guides in particular. Or if you do not have a idea in mind, for example, then yeah, just join us on bolt.fun. It's a great resource of ideas. You can get a lot of nice inspiration there. Scroll through a list of projects, try out Lightning boosts along the way, and just get a feeling what becomes possible with Lightning. Is just awesome. Yeah. And that's it basically. Yeah, that's us. Follow us on Mastodon or also on Twitter if you want. Or yeah, if you have any question about WebLN building Lightning web applications, just let us know. Happy to help here. And also, if you have a case, for example, if you wonder how you can bring Lightning also to a mobile app, feel free to approach us as well. Thank you.
If you have any questions, just let us know, and I will bring you the mic. Questions about Albi or Lightning, or how many Bitcoin does this guy have? Could be good. Okay, I think that we don't have any questions. So, well, thanks a lot for doing the
Thank you.
talk. And also you can, I think that you can check Albi. It's a really great tool. I think that I've been talking with the Albi guys, not using the app yet, but it's good if you are a content creator, if you're a writer, or you are planning to start a podcast or something like that. Could be